All right, hello everybody, and welcome to the 2018 CACFP Annual Training. This year we're going to be looking at early childhood physical activities. My name is Karen Brinkerhoff, just so you know who you'll be talking your ear off for the next hour. Like I just said, this training will take about an hour to complete. You are going to have some homework at the end, so make sure that you stay with me the whole time, okay? So let's go ahead and we'll get everything started. So just a little bit about me so you know who's going to be talking to you for the next hour. I am a subject educator with the Child Care Council. I've been here for just about 3 years now. And I've been working in the CACFP department for about 6 months. I started helping out with monitor visits once Beverly left. I do believe I saw most of your programs. Now that we have Lindsay on board, I'm actually responsible for the new program signups. I am a credentialed trainer through NAEYC, and for those of you who don't know, that stands for the New York State Association for the Education of Young Children. I did graduate from MVCC with my associates and then continued on to SUNY Cortland, where I did get my bachelor's. I have a very rambunctious, almost 4-year-old, 2 dogs, and a husband who most days might as well be a second child. So this is just a quick overview of what we're going to be talking about today and the objectives. So we're going to be talking about tips to be successful in CACFP. We're going to define physical activity terms. We're going to highlight the benefits of physical activity. We're going to discuss some of the perceived barriers to leading physical activity, and we're going to share some ideas to help overcome these barriers. All right, so some tips to be successful in CACFP. There is a new crediting book out as of June. I do believe that Lindsay's been handing them out as she goes out on her monitor visits. If you haven't gotten a copy yet and you would like one, just let us know. This is what it looks like, the picture on the right. So processed meats. We're seeing a lot of processed meats on your menus. Processed meats can only be served twice a week. This includes your hot dogs, your sausages, your deli meats, chicken nuggets, pepperoni. The list of processed meats can actually be found on page 37 in your crediting book. Okay, if you're serving these more than twice a week, it's going to end up getting disallowed and you won't be able to get credit for that meal, okay? Your attendance needs to be accurate. It's important to remember that your attendance has 2 components. So you have the sign in and out times, and then you have the meal counts. You cannot use your daycare attendance as your CACFP attendance and vice versa. Your attendance needs to be accurate. We're seeing a lot of overlap in attendance, which is putting providers over capacity. Even if it's just for a couple of minutes, you're still going over your capacity, and it's becoming a safety supervision issue, okay? So make sure you're not going over capacity. If you have children who are sharing slots and you need help with scheduling, let the Child Care Council know. We can come out and we can help you with that, okay? Your menus need to be completed on a daily basis. If Lindsay comes out to your program and your menus are not completed, your menus get disallowed, meaning you don't get paid. We all want to get paid, so make sure your menus get done every single day. Even if you're just putting them on a sticky note and putting them on your refrigerator and you've got 20 sticky notes on your refrigerator, as long as it's written down somewhere, we will count it, okay? If you are closed for the day, you need to let us know. We're wasting a lot of time and resources when we come out to do a monitor visit and you're not home and you're scheduled to be open. You are actually required to let us know if you're going to be closed. Call us, email us. Our contact information will be at the end of the PowerPoint. You can also put it in Kid Care under the calendar option. We'll have more details on that. Okay, but under the calendar option, there's a column on the right-hand side. You can choose closed and you drag it over to the date, then we can see that you're closed. If your schedule changes or you have a rotating schedule, you need to let us know. So if you're supposed to be doing care Monday, Wednesday, Friday, and the parent's schedule changes to Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday, you don't tell us we're coming out there on a Monday and we're not seeing anything, and that becomes an issue. If you follow the school calendar, let us know. If anything changes with the schedule, you gotta let us know. If feeding times or hours of operation change, you gotta let us know, okay? Enrollment forms. Your enrollment forms need to be up to date. If the parent moves, gets a new address, a new phone number, if they get married, divorced, name changes, whatever's going on, we need to know about it. We need to have updated enrollment forms regardless of when the enrollment form expires. And these forms also need to be updated every year. We are going to be sending out about a month before your enrollment forms expire so that you can get them signed. So the continuous agreement. The continuous agreement is something that was reviewed with you at your initial sign up. Just your rights and responsibilities as a participant in this program, essentially. So I'm just going to go over a couple of things that we're having some issues with. So your rights and responsibilities as the participant in this program. You are required to attend this training, the annual training every year, which you're doing right now, so you've already got that under your belt. This training is also going to be taking place at the Utica Library and our office in Oriskany for a classroom setting. You promised to serve meals that meet the CACFP requirements for the ages of the children being served. You promised to maintain the following daily records: the menus, the number of enrolled children every day, the number of meals being served to the enrolled children. Okay. You must notify your sponsoring organization immediately upon change of approved capacity, place of residence or location, income eligibility, telephone number, meals and snacks to be claimed, name change, hours of operation, the number of program participants, including foster children and current enrollment information for participants, the number of days that care will be provided, and any changes in your license, registration, or enrollment. Okay. The provider will make attendance and menus available to the sponsoring organization when we come out there. So you have to show your menus and your attendance to Lindsay when she comes out. You may claim meals for your own children as long as you are income eligible. If you think you're income eligible and you're not claiming your children, give us a call. We'll send you the forms, okay? All right, so you as a participant in our program will allow every representative from our program that comes out there, you have to let them in your home during normal hours of operation, sorry. The provider must notify your sponsoring organization in advance whether they are planning to be out of their home during a meal service period. If you are closed, if you're going to the park for lunch, whatever you're doing, if you're not going to be in your home at mealtime, let us know. Or if you're closed, let us know. The provider must serve meals to all enrolled children without regard to race, color, national origin, sex, age, or disability. Okay. You have the right to terminate this agreement without cause. You also have the right to transfer to another sponsoring organization, but you can do that no more than once every 12 months. You will have your current license approval, registration, or enrollments in accordance to state regulations, and you will be in compliance. That includes your capacity. You cannot charge separately for meals and snacks. All right. And if we send out any handouts for parents for you to distribute, you're able to do that as well. Okay, so this is just a quick overview. Those are your rights and responsibilities as a participant in our program. So if you have not met Lindsay yet, she's our new monitor. Here's her picture. We are super excited to have her on board. If you have any questions for her, she's super nice. She will answer you really quickly, okay? And her contact information will be at the end of the end of the PowerPoint. So I do have to give credit where credit is due. All the information in this training is going to be coming from Dr. Diane Kraft. She's an adaptive physical education professor at SUNY Cortland, and I actually had her as a professor when I went there. She's such a nice person and so full of knowledge. She's definitely the guru for physical education in a classroom setting. She's amazing. And the fact that she actually responds to you. I was creating this training and I sent her an email, and she not only responded to me within a couple of hours, but she also called me while she was in Iceland. Yes, I said Iceland, like on the other side of the planet. I have no idea what she was doing there, but she managed to find time to respond to me, which was awesome. So physical activity. Physical activity is defined as movement that increases the heart rate and breathing above what it would be for a child who is sitting or resting. Some examples include running, walking, crawling, climbing, jumping, and dancing. So play increases breathing, and ultimately our goal is to actually have 15 minutes of play for every hour of care. And it's important to remember your skill level doesn't matter to the kids. To the children, you are awesome. So some hints for leading physical activity. These are some of the things that we hear when we're out in the field. Some providers, we want to make sure you have enough space for children to all play together. You want to lead a physical activity break frequently and make sure children are not sitting for more than 45 minutes. So again, that comes back around to the 15 minutes of play for every hour of care. You want to participate at your own comfort level and make sure you self-regulate. Obviously, if you've got a broken foot, we don't want you doing jumping jacks. So make sure you participate at your own comfort level. Keep everyone engaged and keep it fun. Remember, the kids, you're awesome. They don't care if you look like a goof. So active play is actually defined as large muscle movements that allow children to be able to run, skip, hop, and jump without limitations. And if your children are anything like my son, this is all they do all day, every day. So structured physical activity is an adult-led physical activity that promotes large muscle movements and is designed so all children are active participants. Head Start actually refers to structured activities as those that are intentionally planned and facilitated by an informed adult. So an informed adult meaning an adult who knows the purpose of the activity, and that there's more to the activity than just shaking your sillies out. So unstructured physical activity. Play is actually defined as a process that is freely chosen, personally directed, and intrinsically motivated. So the children are choosing what they want to do. Unstructured physical activity is defined as free play involving movements that increases the heart rate and breathing above resting levels. So basically the children are choosing what they want to play and it's increasing their heart rate and breathing levels above resting level. And again, if the children in your programs are anything like my son, they're choosing to run, skip, hop, and jump and Superman off the couch. So sedentary activity is also called inactive time. Sedentary activity is defined as a quiet time, which can include reading a book, taking a nap, circle time, sitting down for meals, coloring pictures, etc. Sedentary behavior does not increase the heart rate above that of sitting or resting levels. So physical activity best practice. There is a book called Caring for Our Children. It's actually in the bottom right-hand corner. The picture shown is actually the 3rd edition. The CDC does not have its own standards for early childhood education settings. Instead, the CDC actually primarily refers to the national standards, which are contained in this book. This book was federally funded, and there's a whole bunch of sponsors for it, including the American Academy of Pediatrics, the American Public Health Association, and the National Resource Center for Health and Safety of Children. And again, there's a picture in the bottom right-hand side. This book has been around since 1992, and it's currently in its 3rd edition. It contains standards for all health and safety topics. The obesity prevention-related standards, including those for physical activity, nutrition, breastfeeding support, and screen time, are also published, but as a standalone document. So in this book, they recommend physical activity best practice. So children need the following in order for it to be best practice. They need to have active opportunities for physical education and physical activity. They need to play outside. They need that fresh air. They need that vitamin D from the sun, even if you're going outside and splashing in puddles. The caregivers and teachers need to encourage physical activity. Go out there and splash in the puddles with them. Providers need to have policies and practices in place that promote physical activity. So make sure it's part of your lesson planning. And we also need to protect the children from air pollution while outside. While we don't necessarily have the smog issues that the state of California has, we still have some air pollution going on. So obviously you don't want the children playing next to an exhaust on the vehicles. So the benefits of physical activity, we've got social emotional benefits, we've got the obvious physical developments, we've got health benefits, including weight regulation and obesity prevention, there's cognitive benefits, and there's self-concept benefits. So some additional benefits are actually worksite wellness. So this is all the benefits for you as the provider. So physical activity enhances adult wellness when providers are engaged in physical activities with the children. Notice I said with the children. It's in big, bold, underlined letters, with the children. It helps to reduce stress. It helps you to use your time efficiently, and it can be fun. So the picture that you're looking at is actually a picture of two different brain scans. The brain scan on the left-hand side, there's a lot of blues, some greens, a little bit of yellow. This is actually a scan of a brain of a child who was sitting quietly. There's a lot of blue, there's not a lot going on. The scan on the right-hand side is of a brain after a 20-minute walk. Notice there's a lot more colors. There's less blue, there's green, there's yellow, there's red, there's some orange in there. There's a lot more going on in there. So the more colors, that means there's more going on in the brain. And I actually notice this with my work ethic. If I go for a 20-minute walk or just a quick walk around the building, I feel a lot more attentive, motivated, and I seem to be more productive. So this is the same effect that it would have on the children in your program. So I'm going to throw some big sciencey words at you guys, and I'm really sorry, and I really hope that I pronounce everything correctly. So your brain loves the gym. When you exercise, when you're doing physical activity, you've got endorphins that are being released, which actually dulls the sensation of pain. You've got serotonin being released, which enhances your mood. You've got more blood flow to the brain, which increases oxygen, and the nutrients are improving waste removal. You've got dopamine that's being released, which actually improves your motivation, focus, and learning. You've got brain-derived neurophobic factor, which is actually protecting and repairing the neurons from injury and degeneration. So basically, your brain is a move it or lose it kind of thing, and physical activity actually increases brain activity. So in turn, that reduces dementia. We all know how terrible that disease can be. So move it or lose it with your brain. So make sure you're getting out there, getting that physical activity in. Just go for a walk around the building. All right. So some perceived barriers to leading physical activity. This is what we hear out in the field a lot when we don't see any physical activity happening. Providers will tell us they don't have enough space, equipment, funds, or time. They've got a diverse ages. They have diverse ages and skills to go along with those ages, and I agree with that. You've got children from 6 weeks all the way up to 12 years old in your programs. There's a lot of skills in between. You don't feel comfortable with physical activity. You've got that privacy in a crowd feeling. You don't want anybody looking at you. And then you might just have a lack of knowledge regarding developmentally appropriate physical activity. Don't let these excuses get the best of you. To the kids, you are awesome. They don't care how goofy you look. They don't care if you miss the ball when you kick it. And if you would like the child care council to come out to your program to do some physical activities with the children in your program, let us know. Give us a call. We can come out there and do anything you need help with. Anything from room arrangement to paperwork to ADA laws. Ellen's been going out and doing Little Red Hen Makes a Pizza, where the children are actually making pizza, and it's CACFP credible. Tammy's got story stretchers. Caitlin's been doing clean mud. Anything you need, you let us know. We can come out and do it with you. So it's important to infuse physical activity throughout the day. You want to make sure it's infused to outdoor play, classroom setting, the indoor program, indoor physical activity center, adult-led physical activities, active transition, and make physical activity the default activity. So these are the fundamental movement skills. So there's locomotor skills, which is the walking, the running, the jumping, the hopping, the leaping, galloping, sliding, skipping, Then there's object control. So you're throwing, the catching, the kicking, the striping, the dribbling. And then there's stability, which is the springing and the balancing. Did you know that there's actually 3 different stages to learning how to throw a ball? There's the initial stage, which is from about 1 to 3 years old. The children are more pushing the ball. They don't really have the overhand throw. They're more pushing it. Sometimes the ball will just drop behind them. There's minimal power behind it. Then there's the elementary stage, which is they're stepping with the same foot as their throwing arm. There's a little bit of power to it. A lot of people will refer to this stage as, well, I don't want them on my team. They throw like a blank. So, which we all go through this stage. Sometimes you might make it 2 feet. Sometimes you might make it 10 feet. There's a little bit of power to it. And again, that's from 3 to 6 years of age. And then you've got the mature stage, which is the full follow through. When you throw the ball, you step with the opposite foot as your throwing arm. There's a lot of power. You don't really see this until the children are about 6 to 8 years old. And this is why they need lots of opportunities to practice throwing. So the importance of developing those mature fundamental movement skills. Again, it's from ages 1 to 2 to up to about 7 is the ideal fundamental movement skills phase. The children need extensive practice and they need the skillfulness related to physical activity participation. So basically the children need to practice. Do you think Tom Brady is just that good at football, or Michael Jordan is just that good at basketball, or A-Rod Alex Rodriguez is just that good at baseball? No, they've had lots of time to practice and they've had lots of opportunities to practice. Who knows, you might have a superstar quarterback in your program. You don't know that if you're not going to give them the opportunities to practice. So this is a quick video of Dr. Diane Kraft. In this video, she just presented a training on physical activity and encouraging physical activity. So we're just going to watch this real quick.
I'm Diane Kraft, and I'm a professor of adapted physical education at State University of New York College at Cork.
For the people who couldn't attend the sessions today, do you want to briefly describe what you presented about?
Okay, it's I call the session Active Play, Fun Physical Activities for Young Children. And I presented a series of physical activities that use only inexpensive equipment, laundry baskets, pool noodles, hula hoops, rolled socks, and are developmentally appropriate for young children. And had a chance to lead people in some of those activities too. And they're also inclusive. They work with children who are younger and older, meaning 18 months on up to 5 or 6 years of age together, because I'm very much a proponent of inclusion.
So what's your favorite game that you presented on today?
It's my husband's creation, Swat the Fly. All-time favorites. If anybody goes to our activeplaybooks.com website, there's a video of it there. It's to get the children to run and run and run, because there has to be a sound educational reason for every physical activity. It's working on mature fundamental movement skills or cardiovascular or other endurance. So this one, you have plates with like vinyl plastic plates with pictures of flies taped to both sides. And then you have a pool noodle cut in half. So that's the fly swatter. And some of the children drag the flies that have cords attached. So they're running around the space, dragging the plates. And others are running around after them with the fly swatter, trying to swat the fly. It's a great hit because it's one of the very few times in our society we say it's okay to hit something. And children get really motivated when they can hit those flies. But for those who, for ethical or religious reasons, are not comfortable with the idea of swatting a fly, we put pictures of drums, snare drums, on both sides, and the pool noodle becomes the drumstick. So now it's beat the drum, and it works out great. So that's a favorite. I've seen children do it by choice for about 25 out of 30 minutes. Running, stopping for a moment, switching, dragger to swatter, running some more. It's a winner.
So what's one piece of advice that you could give parents or teachers about encouraging active play?
Make it fun, because that's the biggest motivator to children. And then to develop developmentally appropriate physical activities. I'm not a fan of some of the well-intended soccer and baseball programs where they take adult activities and force them on young children who are way too young to be successful. Let them play, give them a wide variety of loose parts and equipment to play with supervision, and that will give them more of a background in terms of physical activity. And later, when they're developmentally ready, then we can introduce the conventional sport activities.
All right. So as you could see from the video, the activity that she's talking about, Swat the Fly, it's inclusive. It's appropriate for a variety of ages. You can differentiate it based on religion. So instead of putting the fly on it, you can actually put a snare drum on it. And it's inexpensive. You're talking about a rope, a pool noodle, and a plastic plate. You don't have a plastic plate, get a Frisbee. They're very inexpensive. All right, so working with infants. I am not the most experienced when it comes to working with infants in regards to physical activity, and actually neither is Dr. Kraft. She actually recommends anything by Christine Roberts. Miss Roberts is a really good reference when it comes to physical activity relating to infants. But basically you've got the tactile, so the simple fingertip touches on the backs and the legs, crossing the midline, so taking the arm and going across the body, dancing in airplane, and the children love that, and of course tummy time is a must. This is actually a picture of Dr. Kraft's book. It's called Active Play, and it does come with a DVD. You can get it on Amazon, you can get it on eBay, you can also get it from Dr. Kraft's site directly. This book is awesome. It is like the Bible for physical activity, for inexpensive physical activity materials. Like I said, you can get it on Amazon, eBay, or Dr. Kraft's website. All right, so we are actually going to take a few minutes and we're going to watch a couple of the activities from Dr. Kraft's DVDs so you can get some ideas on some things that you can do in your classrooms. Just bear with me here to get it up and running. So let's look at bubble wrap. Bubble wrap is an easy activity. You get that primnesia, you don't remember what you ordered when that Amazon box comes. Chances are there's bubble wrap in it. Anything that you order from Walmart, eBay, anything, chances are it's got bubble wrap in it. So it's a really inexpensive way and you're already getting it shipped to you. So let's see what Dr. Kraft does with bubble wrap.
I'm jumping. Would you jump, please? Really nice. Double jump and jump and run and toss all bubbles. This is a great way to have children practice fundamental movement skill with jumping. Prompt children to bend their knees and lift their arms as they jump. Help them with the rhythm of jumping by playing lively music with a clear, even beat. For safety, be sure all children move in the same direction. Keep them miles away from the bubble wrap.
All right, so she had basic safety information there. So she's talking about having the children all move in the same direction. She's got it taped to the floor so it doesn't pull up when the children jump on it. She also talked about making sure it stays away from the young ones' mouths. So there's policies and procedures in place when you participate in this activity. Let's look at clean up the floor. Clean up the floor is appropriate for all ages. You'll notice in the video that there's younger ones participating and there's older ones participating. So let's take a look at this one.
This activity is such fun and chaos. In Clean Up the Floor, children on each side of the barrier try to throw all the socks over to the other side. Use at least 5 pairs of socks per child to keep this activity going a long time. Make the barrier by throwing a sheet over a rope stretched across the room. If we had taped the ends of the sheet to the rope, it would have helped keep it in place. These children range from 15 months to 7 years of age. Some are accomplished throwers already. Others are just dropping socks over the barrier and will begin actually throwing when they're a little older. It's great that they are all able to play this activity together. Prompt children to first bring the socks back by their ears, then step forward with the foot opposite their throwing arm as they throw. Toddlers, who don't understand what barriers are, will likely move around and under the sheet to get socks. That's fine, as long as they still participate. Cleanup after this activity can also be a fun game. Place a basket in the middle of the room and see how fast the children can find all the socks and throw them into the basket.
All right, so clean up the floor. She critiqued herself in the video. If they had taped the sheet instead of just letting it slide in, it would have stayed a little bit better as a boundary. You've got your younger children who are just wandering from side to side picking up socks, which is perfectly fine. They're participating. And then you've got the older children who are just checking it across the room. You've got your preschoolers who might go up to the sheet and just drop it on the other side. Everyone's participating. And socks. We've all got socks in our house. Use them. Put them to work besides just sitting in your dresser in the summertime. And cleaning up is a breeze with this activity. You have the children see who can get the most socks and clean it up faster. So it's a really fun activity. So let's go to the next page here. All right, let's look at easy kicking. This is a really good activity as well.
Make the kicking target from a punch ball balloon inflated inside the opening of a pair of pantyhose. This is one way to give children many chances to practice the fundamental movement skill of kicking. Suspend the pantyhose and punch ball balloon from a rope, or hold it out in front of the child. When kicked, the ball swings right back, ready to be kicked again and again. Here the balls are suspended from a pipe frame built for this purpose. They could also be easily suspended from a rope temporarily strung overhead, or from the overhead support of a piece of playground equipment. For some variety, place targets to knock over, such as empty 2-liter plastic bottles, in front of the suspended balls. Oh, look at you go. Very nice kicking. Kick again. Very nice. Good hard kick. Yes. Nice job.
All right, so you can see how that activity is easy for children of all ages. You've got your younger children who are actually, they might be struggling to even hit the ball, but they get really excited when they do kick the ball. You can give them a little bit of target practice. You could see on the outside of the house, they had like a white piece of paper with the word white on it in front of the white ball. So that coordination there as well. You can have them work on another target, put an empty 2-liter bottle in front of them. And then you've got older children who are they're almost doing a jumping jack and kicking 2 balls at the same time. And this activity is relatively cheap. You're talking pantyhose and the punch balloons from the dollar store. So you're talking a $2 activity. I want to play float the fish. It's actually one of my son's favorites to do. He loves fish. He loves the idea of saving something. So let's take a look at this one.
There's no water. They're gonna die if we don't get some water.
Okay.
All right, let's go save these fish. To save the fish, each child fills a watering can, carries it across the yard, and pours the water into the basin through a hollow foam pool noodle trough. The water flows into the basin and floats the fish. Look how eagerly this 17-month-old girl participates with the older children. She even figures out a quicker way to pour the water. The watering cans were purchased at a dollar store. Cups and clean, empty plastic water bottles can be used instead. Let children have some water to drink before this activity so they won't want to drink from the containers as they play. Yes, the children know the fish are plastic. Nevertheless, the excitement and motivation for the children to be physically active comes from their desire to help the fish and from enjoying a job that seems grown up to them. Children will play actively for a long time when given something useful and interesting to do. We call this moving with a purpose.
So again, children of all ages can enjoy that activity. You had a little 17-month-old, I think she said it was, who was just running back and forth, dumping that watering can. She was so excited to be participating. Then you've got your older children who are excited to try to save the fish. So let's see what else we can find here. All right, matching socks. Matching socks is a fun one. You can do it inside, you can do it outside. It's a great way to incorporate math skills. So the matching, does it have the same number of stripes? Does it have the same color of stripes? Does it have the same patterns on it? So let's take a look at this one.
In matching socks, children get plenty of necessary daily exercise by running from one end of the yard to the other, looking to pair up socks that match. Place a laundry basket at one end of the playing area as the destination for reunited pairs of socks. Provide at least 5 pairs of matching socks per child. Be sure to remind children that these socks don't go on their feet. This activity helps children learn to recognize and match objects according to color, size, and pattern. Increase the challenge by asking older children to find a match for a specific color or type of sock. I see ya. Pick it up. I see ya. Pick it up. I see ya. Cup. Pick it up. We're gonna make a this mess.
All right, so just matching socks is a lot of fun. Let's look at newspaper toss. Newspaper toss is a very exciting activity for the children. You will hear them squealing in excitement. And again, you have the materials to do this. You don't necessarily need to use newspapers. You could use bean bags. You can use socks. You can use pantyhose with rice in them. So let's take a look at this one.
Newspaper? Is it all rolled up with a rubber band on it, keeping it this way? It's fun to throw. You guys ready? Yeah. Good job. One at a time. There is no need to coax children to throw rolled newspapers at a target of aluminum pie plates. They love the action and the noise and squeal with delight each time a full basket of newspapers is delivered to their feet. 5 rolled papers per child will give them plenty of throwing practice before it's time to empty the basket that's under the target. The papers are made from a few sheets of newspaper, folded to a convenient size and rolled. We found that rubber bands can break and come off the papers during this activity, so now we tape the rolled papers in place. For easy setup and knockdown, this hula hoop is held in place with sections of a flat foam pool noodle wedged into the side holes of the basket. Another approach is to hang the pie plates from an overhead support and place the basket underneath to catch most of the papers. We experimented with barriers. The ones we used in this activity were not very effective. A rope strung between 2 supports, draped with a sheet, works well. Angle the barrier so younger, less skilled throwers can stand closer to the target. More skilled children can practice from the end of the barrier farthest away from the target. Watch the children throw. Prompt them to do the following. Bring the newspapers back by their ears before throwing. Step forward with the feet opposite the throwing arms. And follow through by bringing their arms down diagonally across their bodies. These suggestions will help you develop your throwing skills. Come out again. Bring them back and dump them.
All right, so that activity is a great way to help reinforce and help to teach the children the fundamental stages of throwing, encouraging them to put the opposite foot forward, the follow through. But you heard the children get excited. They were squealing every time that they dumped the bucket. And again, it doesn't have to be newspapers. It could be bean bags. It can be socks, because newspapers are getting a little harder and harder to find. So let's see what other activities we can find here. Stock the cans. In the classroom setting training for this, I did create this activity, and it's really fun. And it was really simple to make too. So let's check this one out because this is a lot of fun.
Let's get started. Ready? Pick up the sock that you want, stand behind the barrier, and throw it at the can. Oh, you got it. Good job, Riley. Children love throwing at the cans in this activity that's reminiscent of a carnival arcade game. The row of cans set themselves upright when the strings underneath are pulled. Children stand behind a barrier and throw soft objects, such as fluffy balls and socks, to knock over the cans. When all the cans have been knocked over, let the children take turns pulling the strings to reset them. Freed from having to reset the cans, the adult supervising this activity can give prompts to help the children improve their throwing techniques.
All right, so with this activity, the children are able to reset the cans. And you already have water bottles and probably a soda can or two laying around the house. Put a couple rocks in it, tie the string through, make sure there's a washer at the end of the string so it stays in the bottle or can. The kids have a ball with it, and you don't have to use socks. You could use the newspapers, you can use the socks, you can use bean bags, you can use the pantyhose with rice, anything that will be able to have enough force to knock over a can. And again, the children can reset this, so you can focus on encouraging those developmental skills. I do want to play Swat the Fly because Dr. Kraft did mention it in the interview video that we watched. And this one's a lot of fun too. The adults in the classroom setting have a ball with this one too. So let's look at this one.
Now it's fly swat. Swat the fly. Run! Get him, Shaylee! Get him! Here you go. You want fly or fly swat? Okay. Here you go. Run, Shaylee! Run, Shaylee! Run! Swat the Fly, an original with us, gives children a great cardiovascular workout, running around dragging or swatting flies. It works well both in large country yards and small urban plots. And this is one of the few times we tell children that it's okay to try to hit something. The fly is easy to make. Attach a cord through a hole in the rim of a frisbee. Take pictures of a fly on each side of the disc. A 6-foot foam pool noodle cut in half becomes 2 fly swatters. Children can switch from dragging to swatting whenever they wish. Have the children all run in the same direction to avoid collisions. Remind children that only the flies get swatted. During warm weather, be sure children don't get overheated. Have plenty of drinking water on hand. If you object to swatting flies, put pictures of drums on the discs and have children chase the drums with their foam pool noodle drumsticks. Children with different running speeds can all play together. Slower children chase the slower flies, and faster children typically run after the faster flies.
All right, so you were able to see with that activity The children are just running and swatting the fly, and it's so simple. It's a plastic plate on a piece of string, and pairing up the slower children with the slower children and the faster children with the faster children. You are also able to see you can do it in a variety of environments. You can do it in more of a rural setting, or you can do it in more of an urban setting. Okay, so let's get out of here and get back to our PowerPoint now. Again, all the activities you saw were in Dr. Kraft's book. Obviously, I didn't show them all to you. Okay, but like I said, you can get this book on Amazon, eBay, or Dr. Kraft's website. All right, so now that we've watched the videos, and training is pretty much done, but you have 2 steps. So this is your homework, okay? We are asking that you type or click this link. This link will also be in the comments box below. It's just a quick survey on whether you liked this web-based training. This is the first time we've ever done a web-based training, so we just want to get some feedback on it. Did you like it? Would you do it again? What would you change? That kind of thing. So in order for you to get credit for this training and receive a certificate, you have to do the survey, and you also have to send us a picture or a video of you doing physical activity in the classroom. And with a little blurb, tell us what you thought of the activity. Did the children like it? What would you change? It doesn't necessarily have to be something that you saw in this training, but we want to see physical activity. So all you have to do is send us a picture or a video with the blurb, complete the survey, and that's it. And once we get the survey and your picture or video, we're actually going to send you a copy of Dr. Kraft's book. So that's pretty cool. And it has a DVD, and you're getting it for free. I mean, how awesome is that? You'll also get your certificate as well to show that you took the training. When it comes to the picture, make sure that you have photo releases or only show the backs of the children's heads. We're not going to use the pictures for anything. If for any reason we want to put it in maybe our Child Care Council newsletter, we will contact you. And please keep in mind, we know what your programs look like. We've been in your houses. So please don't just Google a picture and send it to us, because you're not going to get credit. We know what your furniture looks like, okay? Your homework is due no later than September 14th. If you send us something on September 15th, you're not going to get credit for it. When it comes to this survey here, between the V and the number 2 is actually an underscore. It's not a space, just so you know. But like I said, you can click it, copy it, paste it. It's going to be in the comments box below, okay? So again, we need that survey from you. We need the picture or video with the blurb, and we need to get it no later than September 14th. You can send everything to either myself or Lindsay. Here is our contact information. So we're both at 121 2nd Street in Oriskany. My number is 315-223-7850. My extension is 233. My email is keb99@cornell.edu. And then Lindsay's phone number is 315-736-3394. Her extension is 119. Her email is lab369@cornell.edu. And so you can send the picture and the blurb to either my email. You can mail it to us. You can send it to Lindsay. If you're closed for the day, send either one of us an email or give us a call back. Leave us a message if we don't answer. We will call you back within 24 hours if you have any questions. If you ever want the Child Care Council to come out to your site, maybe do some activities with the children, call us, let us know. So that is the end of the training. Don't forget to do your homework. So make sure you do the survey. You get the picture or video with the blurb. Once we get those from you, you will get Dr. Kraft's book and your certificate. Okay? So again, if you guys have any questions, feel free to give me a call back. I hope you enjoyed the training. And let us know if we can do anything differently, okay? Thanks and have a great day.